Selling a home should be pretty straightforward. List it with a real estate agent, show people around, accept an offer, and hand over the keys. However, for some houses, they just can't seem to garner any interest, and that's often due to massive, expensive problems. Today, we're going to look at some unsellable homes, ones that have been on the market for a while, yet just can't seem to find a buyer, even if the property's price is heavily reduced. We'll explore the €1 houses scheme in Italy, a mansion owned by athlete Aubrey Lewis, and more. So let's get started. Back in 2016, numerous historic towns across Italy began offering a deal that grabbed the attention of the world's media. For just the cost of €1, or around $1.22, you could own a property in this country. If it sounds too good to be true, it is, well, slightly. The homes on offer for this price were very decrepit. Often they've been vacant for years and left to fall apart. As such, the new owners would need to spend a small fortune to change them into a livable abode. And you had to. It was part of the €1 deal. Depending on the location, you could be fined thousands of euros if you didn't begin renovations by a certain date after the purchase. Often, you even had to place a deposit of several thousand euros on the promise you would renovate the property. Italy opened this offer up to locals and foreign interests due to the fall in people living in smaller, older towns across the country. Younger Italians were preferring to up the sticks and relocate to larger cities or more modern areas, leaving the historic sites to, well, history. The region of Molise during 2019 had a population of 305,000. From 2014 to 2019, 9,000 people had left the area for newer ventures. The region jumped on board with the €1 scheme and began offering incentives to bring interest back to their towns and villages, one of which involved people being paid €700, or about $855 per month for 3 years, to live within Molise, giving us a grand total of €25,200, or $30,780 over that term, which would make a dent in the renovation costs. However, in order to qualify, newcomers would need to start a business, and the local population must be below 2,000, with the latter rules seemingly out of the new residents' hands. According to some sources, all renovation costs and extra fees can cost around $124,000 altogether, far above the original €1 deal. If you're interested in what the €1 properties look like, well, that's what we're for. In the town of Unsellable in Sicily sits a 6-bedroom, 2-bathroom property on the street Cortile Cataba. Even from the outside, the property has seen better days. Inside, the building hasn't been cleaned or tidied in a very long time. Situated on the street Via Moriale in Unsellable is our next €1 house. The 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom abode also requires significant TLC. It has crumbling walls and large holes in the ceiling. In order to purchase a €1 home in Unsellable, the buyers will have to pay €5,000, or $6,100, for a stipulation of a surety that's valid for 3 years. It's essentially a guarantee that the renovations would be complete in that time frame. If not, the town can keep the cash and take back the ownership of the house. There's also a number of costs such as notary fees, secretarial fees, and so on that can add a further €4,000, or $4,900. This is on top of the renovation costs. Over in the Sicilian town of Troina, one of their €1 properties has been nicknamed the Dollhouse. It has 6 bedrooms and 1 bathroom spread over 4 levels. While in a slightly better state than the houses in Unsellable, the property does seem to have a bit of water damage that will need addressing. Over in the Borgo district of Troina is the house nicknamed Luigi's House. Lacking the green color scheme like the iconic Nintendo character has, the property has 7 bedrooms and 1 bathroom across its 4 levels. The listing mentions that the roof and the house's various systems will need to be sorted by buyers. In order to revitalize their ancient town, Troina officials were offering buyers a restyle bonus amounting to €15,000, or $18,300, with the promise of renovating their dilapidated abodes. It was expected that this fee goes towards revitalizing the rundown home they've purchased. Buyers can even get a further €10,000, or $12,200, for energy efficiency works. In 2017, a mansion built in 1906 went on the market in New Jersey. The median price of houses in the area at the time was $342,000. Yet this 4,000 square foot abode was being sold for just $10. In the past, its asking price was $1.35 million. Situated in 2.7 acres of land in Montclair, the house was previously owned by athlete Aubrey Lewis, who later went on to become a member of the first FBI agent training program to include black people. The 6-bedroom, 3.5-bathroom mansion seemingly had it all. So what was the catch that made its listing so cheap? We hear you think. Well, it all started when the Montclair Township Planning Board approved a subdivision of the land. which interested developers Body Noel Enterprises. They wanted to create 8 homes called The Collective, spread over where the mansion was sat. After lobbying, the board agreed to sell the house first, if someone was willing to lift it up and relocate it elsewhere. According to reports, this could cost $200,000. By May 2018, with no takers, the mansion was demolished. Now the collection of houses is based there instead. During June 2017, a fire broke out at the apartment block called Grenfell Tower in London, England. A large number of injuries and fatalities were sustained as a result. What made this blaze worse was the type of cladding used in the tower. It caused the fire to spread rapidly throughout the building. Afterwards, this left other flat owners across the country with a problem. The building that hosts their flat might have the same cladding that was used at Grenfell. However, a large portion of the building owners refused to pay for the tests to discover whether this is the case or not. Independent surveys can cost as much as £15,000 or $21,300. As such, people trying to sell those flats had no one looking to buy or rent from them. Some owners attempted to remortgage their flats. Yet when the lender sent around a surveyor and discovered that the cladding might be a problem, their flats were valued at £0. Over in Fremont, California, during January of 2020, an unusual building went on the market. A fire station. Built in 1954, the 2-story building was decommissioned during 2008. At the time, Silicon Sage builders wanted to create a mixed-use development where the station was located. It would include residential properties as well as retail. As part of the deal, the local council agreed to sell the land as long as Silicon Sage tried to sell the building first. The catch would be that the buyer of the fire station would have to relocate the building elsewhere. Due to the design of the building, experts claim that this process could have cost between $250,000 to $500,000. On top of that, the owner would need to splash out on the land for the old fire station. In order to comply, Silicon Sage listed the property for just $1. However, if it wasn't sold within a couple of months, it could be knocked down, which is exactly what happened, as no one was willing to splurge hundreds of thousands of dollars on relocation fees. There has been success in the past of moving historic properties from one location to another. During 2017, a church in Oakdale, California was put on the market for a symbolic $1. Built in 1893, it was purchased by realtor Denise Cash. Just moving the old church cost around $40,000. After renovations, the church-turned house was placed on the market for $469,000. Final fact finish. One house that struggled to sell was made famous due to appearing in the 1991 film Silence of the Lambs. The on-screen abode of Buffalo Bill gathered a negative reputation when it was on the market by the superstitious. After 5 years, it was sold in February 2021 for $290,000. It's now going to be turned into a bed and breakfast. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.